Welcome back to Bobblehead Homestead. I am Jeff. Not a lot going on since last video. I wish I could say more, but the last video, I've got a bulldozer and a skid steer doing some work here. And they worked until it started raining. Well, after the rain, they couldn't work for a few days because everything was too muddy. And now, with the windstorms, we've had a burn ban. So, I still got a big old Caterpillar D6 over here, waiting on the weather. That's how it goes. I'm not mad about nothing. That is just how it goes. So, but they were able to go off and do some other jobs with their skid steer. So the bulldozer is just here. With the burn ban, I've got piles back there, and too windy. You know, I'll start the whole state of Arkansas on fire. So yeah, burn ban hopefully will be lifted. Let's see, today's Friday, so next week they should be back out here and finish up. And just a little recap is I had the bulldozer and mainly the skid steer with the forestry mulcher, and they just took out the underbrush. They took out a few big trees along the property line where a fence will go. But other than that, they didn't take out any big trees at all. It was all that underbrush, and that forestry mulcher mulched it all up. Well, there were there were some dead trees. They got some dead trees taken down. There were some trees that were just not healthy, like had a massive lean to them. So, yeah, I'm not walking around again and showing you. But you can kind of see behind. They left anything that was like 6 inches or bigger, they left, and everything 6 inches or less, they mulched up as best they could. But still, that still leaves some burn piles of some thicker stuff. So, yeah, just waiting on the burn piles, and I'm gonna miss this bulldozer. I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, no videos because not a lot of action happening other than research. I am researching fencing for the most part, but also seeds and native grasses, native plants, native flowers. But yeah, fencing is going to be a big project. I had a fencing company come out and give me estimates. Whoo boy. Yeah, so I probably won't be hiring professionals to do the fencing. I don't know, we'll see. But fencing mostly to, I want some livestock guardian dogs. So that's going to be the main thing of the fencing, will be to keep my dogs on my property and to keep the neighbors' dogs off my property. And if it keeps dogs out, it'll probably keep coyotes out too. So, I'm doing a lot of research, a lot of pricing. I'm looking right now, I'm leaning towards electric fencing using the timeless fence system, which is, well, everybody's seen the barbed wire. You got strands going across. Well, instead of barbed wire, you got an electric line. So, you know, like I'd have 6, maybe 7 lines going up the timeless fence, and the timeless fence, instead of the T-posts, it's like a hardened PVC. So instead of having to use insulators for the electric lines can go right through that timeless fence. So that is a good way to good cheap way to do it. I've estimated I'm about 1,800. There's the nosy neighbor who drives around wrecking everybody's videos. But yeah, it's about 1,800 feet around the first half of what I want to do, and that is you can get one strand. It's about $100 for 1,800 feet of electric, and there's wire, there's poly braid, there's poly rope, there's different kinds that you can use. But so, you know, $100 times 6 or 7, depends on how many lines you want. You know, that can be a heck of a lot cheaper than buying the welded wire stuff. But here's what I want to talk to you about today. I just got 20 new hens. Let's go, and they're ugly. Let's go look at the ugly hens. Yes, 20 ugly hens and 1 rooster. Yeah, some guy was, these are battery hens. These are hens that came out of the hen houses. And they're about 1.5 years old. And once they get that old, the egg laying houses get rid of the hens and bring in ones that are gonna lay better. This particular house also had roosters in there. So, and way too many roosters. So these hens are just beat up, ripped out. And I rescued them. Wow. I bought them, but they're being rescued. And the thing about these is these are Easter eggers. They've already, somebody laid me that looks like a blue, maybe a light green egg right there. So I'm going to nurse these hens back to health. I can always use them. You know, I can put one of my whiting true blue roosters with any hen and create Easter eggers. Or get these hens back up to healthy and feathered out, and I can trade them for some help. Man, look at those big floppy cones. So they do have some rans in them. So these are weightier birds, and that Morans have big combs like that. I mean, they all look like roosters, but they're not. They just got big old floppy combs. He doesn't even know what all the mixture of the breeds are, but he said it might get some dark browns and might get some dark greens. But yep, so I did this today. It was about 1.5 hours over to Clarksville to pick them up, and I got 20 of them, and they're gonna stay in this coop for a couple days, and then you can see there's some grass out there. We'll let them out and they can enjoy the sunshine and the grass and the bugs and the breeze and the fresh air. And all right, I'll leave you alone. Get settled in. We'll see if they roost tonight. I've got some poultry spray. I looked at them. They don't seem to have any mites or lice. That's just wear and tear from too many roosters in a flock. But and them pecking each other also. Hen pecked. But all right, this is day 1 of trying to get these hens healthy and productive. Yeah, you're noisy. Yeah, this coop is out here in the front yard, and I got some boys in there. But yeah, they're gonna hopefully destroy this grass pretty quick. Once they're done with the bulldozer and skid steer, I want to get all these flocks out here moved as soon as possible, and get them back into the shade for summer. And then I'll be planting seed. I won't show you in this video, but I just got a bunch of seeds, like enough seed to plant a few acres. And I might, I happen to know a neighbor with a little tiller. I'm not a big fan of tilling, but like all this stuff, just till out all this stuff that's growing here, and then plant my grass and flower and clover mix. And yeah, I got a plan for the hugelkultur garden also. Get that all weed whacked, and then I have landscape cloth. I'm just gonna cover it this year, and well, you'll see. Hopefully coming up I can get started on that. I got this hugelkultur garden and another one on the other side of my driveway. All right. Oh, I got a wind filter for this this new camera, and this will be my test video to see if the wind filter works. Man, has it been windy. Oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful bulldozer. Surprisingly, I lost one tarp. Yeah, I lost one there, and another one, it ripped off at the back, so the top is still covered, but that'll need replaced soon. But it was just non-stop wind. Non-stop 20-mile-an-hour winds. That was just insane. I don't think I have ever experienced anything, you know, you go through storms when it's windy, but it was all day long for 2 days in a row, and today it's not as bad, but it is still windy around here. So yeah, that's why they have the burn bands up. All right. I did lose a rooster in this flock. Whiting true blue duck wings with the beard. And I had sent some of the eggs from this flock to Gabe from the A-team, and he was going to hatch them, and none of them were fertile. Well, I just lost the rooster in here a couple days ago. He was probably natural causes. And you could tell none of the hens' eggs in here were fertilized. You know, he tried to hatch them, but none of them hatched. As opposed to, I've got another whiting true blue duckwing flock without the beard back there, and he said those were those hatched. So yeah, sadly I didn't have a name but he was my main whiting true blue rooster. I want to say 5 years old. He was probably 5 years old. That's good long life for a rooster. And I had his son waiting in the wings in my fraternity boys flock, ready to take over. So probably can't see him back there. His son is a little bit different, a little bit smaller, you know, but I'll make do with that. All right, what else can I talk about? I got all kinds of stuff coming up, but just sometimes you got to wait for the weather and waiting for other people. But yeah, you can see the land that got cleared. It wasn't cleared. It was just the underbrush. Thinned it out a lot. I got plenty of trees back there. There was one patch where we took out a couple big trees that were, one of them was dead and the other one was leaning too far. But other than that, this was just all the small stuff. And, oh yeah, pond. Well, when I hired these guys, I also asked them, you know, to price out a pond for me, and that is just not in the budget. Boy, some of you people are just want to spend all my money right off the bat. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I had enough to get started on this project, and then we'll see what comes in the future. But for now, you know, this is all that was in my budget for now. I didn't have enough to fence in the whole property. I didn't have enough to hire them to put in a pond and forestry mulch the whole thing. You know, I'm just doing what I can for now. But I would love to have a pond over there, and it is self-evident where that pond would go. At the end of the long trench, and then it slopes back up back there, so you know that's going to be one side of it, and it'd be pretty obvious where you put the dam. But that you know, a pond it might improve the value of this place, but I ain't ever selling it, so that's just going to be a massive cost that is not going to bring in any income for me. So that's a wish, not a need. Whereas the fencing, it's more of a need. It'll keep my chickens safe, keep my dogs. I've never owned a dog my entire life. I've been waiting for this, but I don't want to be those neighbors that lets my dog run around and kill other people's chickens or whatever. Cats, you know, whatever dogs get into. I am not going to be one of those people because I complain about them all the time. So if I'm going to get a dog, I'm going to be a responsible human being, and give my best effort to keep my dogs on my property and off of other people's property. That's the responsible, moral thing to do. And then nothing's 100%, you know, but you got to make an effort. You got to make an effort to keep those dogs on your property. The other thing, this camera. That's another thing I've been doing is learning. I got a new camera. Hey, dude. Why aren't you showing the... There we go. Yeah, learning a new camera. I'll talk about that later. But running the electric lines is my fence. The beautiful part of that is I can take a jumper from the perimeter fence to this electric poultry netting and charge that. So if I've got a perimeter fence with electric on it, all I need is a jumper, clip it to the perimeter fence, clip it to the poultry netting, and then the poultry netting's energized. So, you know, wherever I've got that electric fence, I can just jump it, and that way I can move my hens all over the place, even though the charger will be back behind me in the metal shed. So the charger can be there, and it'll charge the perimeter fence, and then I can jump it to those electric chicken netting fences. And so that's planned there. What was I talking about? Yeah, timeless fencing system. If you don't know what it is, go look it up, because I might be talking about that a whole lot. It's what Greg Judy uses. Greg Judy is a regenerative rancher. His living is raising cattle. He owns a bunch of land, but mostly he leases land. And when he leases land, they don't have fencing put up. So he is constantly putting up fencing for his cattle. And he's done a lot of videos on this timeless fencing system. You know, like I said, it's $100 for one strand to go all the way around. If I did 6 strands, so that's $600. So your cost is in the posts. And you know, T-posts, the metal T-posts, are cheaper than the timeless posts. But it's not just the T-posts. You need, I'll do a whole video on this stuff. You need insulators, because that electric wire cannot touch the metal T-post or it grounds out. And then because of that, you have to use more T-posts. Whereas the timeless posts you can put further apart, so you don't need as many of them. It's a whole thing. So yeah, Greg Judy, he's a well-known guy in the agricultural, you know, non-corporate big ag field, and he swears by the timeless fence system. So and I've just been researching everything on that. So that will probably be the route I go. It'll probably be the cheapest. You get those lines close enough together, you know, and that should work. You know, other people use it. They keep their livestock guardian dogs in. They keep coyotes out. They keep neighbors' dogs out. It's mostly used for like sheep and cows and goats, stuff like that, but it also works on dogs. So that will be a cheaper route using the timeless fence system, like a lot cheaper than getting the any type of metal woven or you know, that type of fencing. I might still end up doing that, and the timeless fence system is so much easier to put up. So that's what it's looking like right now. All right, don't get me talking. I'll talk all day long. Yeah. Oh, they did come out. They came out today while I was gone. Oh, they got one burn pile done. They didn't get the other one. Okay. Yeah, that burn pile there was a big burn pile behind me, but it was mostly burnt out. So they just got that spread out, and now there's another big one. You probably can't see it back there. And the bulldozer's still here, so they'll be back out for a little bit more work. But then, yeah, my chickens are going to be going back there as soon as possible, and yeah, when the action happens, I'll keep you informed. But if there ain't no action happening, rain and wind, that ain't exciting. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. And take it easy.